If you're looking for the best translucent powders, here's a list you must see. We made this list based on our personal preference and sorted it based on their features, prices, quality, durability, and reputation of the manufacturers and customer feedback. Also, we've included options for every type of customer. So let's get started. At the first position of our list, we have Sacha Buttercup Setting Powder. This gorgeous powder is made by Sacha, a brand from Trinidad and Tobago that has been making products for women of color for years. It's no surprise that this is also one of the best translucent powders for dark skin that we've reviewed. The original powder is a deep yellow shade that works beautifully on dark skin with warm undertones. There is also a lighter version for warm, light, and medium skin tones. However, the shade that wows us the most is no color. Though it looks white in the jar, it's truly colorless but with a slight cool tint. It works remarkably well for anyone with a cool undertone, including women with very dark cool skin who can't use a typical banana powder. Moving on to the next, at number 2 with L'Oreal Paris Hydra Perfecte. If you have dry skin, look no further. This translucent powder has a groundbreaking formula that sets makeup while allowing the skin to retain a sheen. Most powders make dry skin look even drier, and while setting sprays can be a decent alternative, nothing compares to the longevity that powder offers. Hydra Perfecte is a great solution. It's extremely fine and silky to the touch, and once it goes on the skin it settles beautifully without looking visible at all. It's even more invisible and lightweight than the Mercier Translucent Setting Powder, which is next lightest powder on our list. The number 3 position is held by Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder. At the time of writing, Coty Airspun is the oldest makeup product we're aware of that's still on the market. The formula has been updated over the years since its original release in 1935, but it still holds an iconic status for many makeup fans. That's not to say that it's outdated. It has a massive cult following. It's a classic setting powder that sets and mattifies perfectly, and works especially well for those with combination and oily skin. When applied to the skin, it's very smooth, though it's not as finely milled as the Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. As a result, it actually adds a skin perfecting effect that the more invisible powder doesn't have. Next, at number 4 we have Mehron Makeup Setting Powder. One of the main purposes of a translucent powder is to lock makeup into place and ensure it'll look good for longer. All of the setting powders on our list do a great job of that, but this one kicks it up a notch. It sets makeup, mattifies the skin, and guarantees that your look will hold up against water, rain, and sweat. It's especially well loved by stage performers who need their makeup to hold up under hot lights. The formula is made with talc, which can't be beat when it comes to absorbing oils from the skin. It's reinforced with aluminum hydroxide, which helps to prevent sweat and moisture buildup. It can be overkill for day to day, but if you have a very physical job where you want your makeup to hold up after a swim or a gym session, it's the best we've seen. The number 5 position is held by Revlon ColorStay Pressed Powder. Translucent powders usually come in a loose formula, so we appreciate the convenience that this fantastic pressed translucent powder offers. When it comes to the important details, like how it looks on the skin, we're truly impressed. It has a soft demi-matte finish, and the formula is super smooth so it works well even over dry patches. The translucent shade appears white in the container, but as with many of the other translucent powders on this list, it goes on the skin colorless without altering the shade of your foundation. Those with deeper or warmer skin tones might prefer the banana shade, which has a warm yellow tint. The number 6 position is dominated by CoverGirl Clean Professional. This drugstore translucent powder is perfect for baking fanatics. It offers a pristine demi-matte finish that fits with the Insta Glam aesthetic, and since it's relatively affordable you would feel bad about using it liberally. It's often compared to the Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. We think CoverGirl was hoping for the comparison, since even the packaging looks similar. The two powders are very soft and finely milled, but the CoverGirl powder has a slightly more matte finish and a skin-diffusing effect. Because of that, it actually reminds us more of the Sacha Buttercup Setting Powder. It works well under the eyes, and the light dusting all over the face can also help keep the skin shine-free throughout the day. Moving on to the next, at number 7 with e.l.f. Cosmetics High Definition Powder. This is our favorite HD powder. HD powders are a category of powders that can set the skin, but more importantly, they diffuse texture. Many powders have this kind of perfecting effect, but HD powders take it up a level. This powder is described by e.l.f. as having a radiant finish, although in practice, it's more of a natural finish. Because of this non-matte, non-powdery finish, It's a great choice for setting dry or normal skin. Its finish is very comparable to Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, but with the added texture diffusing effect that even surpasses the Sacha Buttercup setting powder. Unfortunately, it's also a little more likely to have flashback, so we don't recommend wearing it when you think there might be flash photography. The number 8 position is held by Honest Beauty Invisible Blurring Loose Powder. If you have sensitive skin or you worry about harmful chemicals in cosmetics, then this clean powder will be your favorite. The main ingredient here is cornstarch, which is a fantastic talc alternative for soaking up oil and keeping the skin matte. It's paired with silica, rice starch, and a few other minerals, with a texture that is so soft that we can only describe it as silky. It feels incredible on the skin. While it is smooth and light, it is strongly mattifying, so it's better for oily skin. It might work under the eyes, but only over a very creamy concealer. Next, at number 9, we have NYX HD Studio Finishing Powder. This translucent powder is incredibly popular, but we're actually not too impressed with it. It does a good job of soaking up both oil and sweat throughout the day, which helps keep makeup from looking greasy. It's made solely of silica, so it's incredibly simple and safe for sensitive skin. And the fact that it's used alone means that there is no talc in the formula. At the same time, it's quite luminous, so it doesn't make the skin look dry or flat. It reflects and diffuses light beautifully, so it can be used to add a perfecting layer to the skin. Unfortunately, this also comes with a massive drawback. It flashes back like nobody's business, especially if you over-apply. We don't recommend this powder for baking or for setting the skin heavily. It looks best when applied lightly and sheerly. Finally, the number 10 position is dominated by Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. When it was first released, this translucent powder changed the game and forced all other brands to measure up. You know it's good when almost all other powders are reviewed in comparison to it. This powder is incredibly finely milled and sheer. While it's advertised as having a matte finish, we find that it's more natural in practice. It still helps to keep shine from peeking throughout the day, so it's a solid choice for all skin types. It's just reflective enough to give a slight pore blurring effect. It's not quite as diffusing as the Sacha Buttercup setting powder, but that's mostly because it's more lightweight and invisible. It's truly translucent, so it works well across a very wide range of skin tones. This level of versatility makes it a must-have in makeup artist kits. In addition to the translucent shade, this powder also comes in honey, which is tinted to suit warm undertones, and deep, which is suitable for darker skin tones. That's all for today. We upload beauty product review videos every single day, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for the upcoming video notification.